I can't go that far. All right, everybody. Oh, shit. Welcome back to another episode of Spectacular. We are a podcast that talks about movies and shit, mostly shit. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Aquino, but I'm joined by my best friend, Mike Vera.
Sup, my dudes?
Dude, bro.
What's up, my dudes and dudettes all out there in podcast?
It's Saturday, my dudes. You guys just heard our new for this season, our new theme, would that be intro song? What would you call that, Mike?
Theme song.
Theme song, okay. That
it's more of a theme epic.
Okay, sure. Epic, like as in the Jurassic, Triassic, and okay.
Just no, epic as in Faith No More. Like,
what is it? That song when we sang it on Rock Band destroyed my throat.
Yeah, it sounded painful.
What is it? Anyway, so that song was written by Mike and Lewis, performed by myself and Mike, and Lewis is the one that. Well, actually, you played you played piano for it too. You played a lot of those keys, and he kind of fine tuned it, right?
I played everything.
I thought Luis did some more.
No, he did some stuff.
Yeah. So he made our voices definitely sound more appealing. Mike, you ready to sing it again? We're gonna sing it with our normal voices. Let's everybody hear our regular voices.
Oh, you want to hear? Okay.
I'm gonna count it. Do you want? I'm gonna 1, 2, and then go. Okay. So it's okay.
Wait, I'll do the drum intro. Ready? We're Mike and Brandon. We're having some fun watching these movies one by one. Comedy, drama, and even some horrors. Our opinions are better than yours. Spectacular.
So you can hear me laugh in the theme, in the intro.
I do wish I would have did the descending middle part again.
Oh. No? How would you do it?
Well, do that middle part like, Wait, not yet. No. Okay. Start over. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you keep singing what you're singing, and I'll do the high part.
So deeper. Okay, I got it.
1, 2, 3, 4. No,
here's the thing.
This is what I was working with, people.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not musically talented in the slightest. Right. I barely got through our musical episode of Man Beast.
What you lack in talent, you make up for
in
with
looks.
A lack of effort.
Oh, okay, there we go.
That
sounds very simple. Yeah. Had that my whole life in school. Brandon has the ambition,
we got 1.5 takes. That's good, right?
Yeah. Cool. So I started getting sweaty when we were recording it because I was like, oh, this is not going well for me. And so Lewis definitely made us sound better, at least me. And while you have the skill in singing that I definitely don't have, nor do I want to have.
Which didn't sound that great right now.
Okay. But, when we did it,
I'm full of chicken wings.
And chicken wings and
pork sandwich.
Yeah. And me with some bulgogi and also some wings.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this episode, Mike, what movie are we doing and how hard is your cock right now?
Listen here, folks. Yeah. One, I won't stand for language like that.
Okay.
This is a new season.
Sure.
And we're going straight and narrow.
Okay.
Wait.
No more.
The straight and narrow.
Okay.
That's the phrase, right?
We're going to be as straight as
English.
Straight as you.
We're going to be about as straight as half of the dancers in this movie.
You're as straight as a rainbow. Yes. Yeah. What movie is this we're doing?
We are doing the 1961 Broadway sensation.
Travesty.
West Side Story.
West or West?
Hear me again, folks. West Side Story, which might be, and you probably know this.
Okay.
As you can tell by the poster you're literally looking at this moment, might be my favorite movie of all time. I'm sorry. That's incorrect.
Okay.
Everyone, I just lied.
It is.
It might be my favorite thing of all things of all time.
That's a lot of things.
Like, like movies, music, just...
Only that category? So if it was Pussy or West Side Story Live, but like original cast, West Side Story. Like this was in the 50s that you were going to... No, 50s when this was written, right?
Like with Carol and Larry?
Sure.
They played the original
sure.
Maria and Tony.
Okay. Was one of them actually Puerto Rican?
I don't know if she was.
Okay.
Carol Lawrence, I believe was her name.
Okay. Because there was not a lot of Puerto Ricans in this movie. Let me tell you.
There was not.
That's very problematic. But yeah, that wouldn't be made now. But we'll talk about that. So this is your favorite thing of all time.
Yeah.
That's very telling.
Yeah.
As you guys don't know Mike the way I know Mike. Like I know the ins and out, the taste, the the everything of Mike. We've shared drinks, so technically we've kissed.
Ooh.
And yeah, so it's this guy has been asking for a while to do not only West Side Story, just a musical in general. And I'm like, fuck that shit. I have nothing against musicals though, truly, because once I start watching
Really, because
them,
every word that's come out of your mouth
is
so
negative.
far
Yeah,
has
is
been
negative,
negative
yeah.
towards them.
Like I do enjoy musicals when I see them, especially when it's in person. But at the same time, it's just I'd rather watch the decapitation in in Hereditary on repeat for 16 hours straight.
I'd rather watch young lions be killed by the other male lions in order to get the moms back into heat. Yeah.
I'd rather watch people clubbing baby seals
Yeah.
for periods of time than watch a musical. No, it's the thing is, again, I do enjoy it once I start watching it. And I've seen West Side Story before. I've never seen it in person, but like the movie, yes. And it's just not on my list. Now, of musicals, if I had like my hierarchy of musicals, it's definitely up there.
Right.
I think I can't put a top 3 or anything because I don't think I've seen enough.
Because I've only seen 2.
Yeah. But like, I know you like it so much. It was available on Amazon, which is through Freevee.
Freebie. Yes.
Freevee, yeah. Because there's ads.
Right.
Which is a new update for the show too. Mike requested that we do Freevee, Tubi, basically anything that's streaming. Is that what
Like, that's just on your TVs already, everybody. Like, just go on there.
But neither of us have a paid Peacock, right?
Right.
And neither of us have a paid Paramount, right?
I think it's funny. I got it like once because I think my dad wanted to watch
And you forgot to
the
cancel
Jeremy
it?
Renner show. And every time I go to cancel, they're like, "Hey, do you want 3 months free?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna say no to free."
Yeah.
And then like 3 months goes by, and I see like a $6.99 charge on my thing. Like, they got me. That's how they get you. They get you to forget.
You got.
Yeah. So they just got me like 2 days ago. So I'm gonna go to cancel it, and then I'll get 3 more months free. So we'll see how it goes.
It's almost as hard as canceling your LA Fitness membership.
Yeah.
Because from my understanding, that's very difficult. What I've done every time when I've had LA Fitness and actually pay for it, I just said that I died, and I called and I'm the dad. I was like, yeah, you better cancel that. And
They call you like the person you were trying to reach is dead.
yeah, he is deceased. Please stop calling LA Fitness. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye. So again, West Side Story. So Mike, what actually, before we get into the movie real quick,
Okay.
what makes this your favorite movie ever? Of anything, what makes this your favorite?
Right. I don't know. No, I think first and foremost.
hold on, I'm sorry. I think it'd be great. Hey, Mike, what makes this your favorite thing ever? Well, here's the thing. I don't actually have an answer for that, but let me answer that with another question of my own. What the fuck? No, but why is it your favorite?
So I think the most important part to me is the music. Like, it's so damn good. Because I had a bunch of questions for you too, because the band.
The band? Okay. You said it a little bit before me, but yeah, I got there.
The songs are like so memorable.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you. Well, let me just say, like,
Do you think Carlos Santana got the idea of his song Maria or whatever that was? He saying Maria?
Yeah.
From West Side Story.
I mean, maybe. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the video. I know I know it's sweaty in Latin.
Yeah. We shouldn't talk about Carlos Santana because he's a piece of shit. But like, yeah. Maria. Didn't he say West Side Story in the song?
Tell me what West Side Story.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I feel like.
Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so like I'll give him credit where credit's due. His guitar playing is great for what it was.
It's not. But okay. Go
Well, I thought he was. Well, you see guitar players now where he can't compete even in his prime. But
Even
like,
in his prime, he was like, what? He's overrated. That's just my.
I hear Prince really can shred when he was alive. Like he can
Prince
throw it
really
down.
But he's good on everything, so it's whatever.
That fucking little piece of shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what makes this your favorite ever? I'm sorry.
So it's the music. It's the Leonard Bernstein.
Okay.
Stein, right? Not Stein. Yeah, Stein.
Okay.
The score. It just moves my body. You know what I'm saying? And it's like so influential because like, I mean, I don't know how many cartoons you watched growing up. Like
All of them.
every other cartoon had like a West Side Story reference.
Name some, and I'll tell you yes if I've seen it.
Animaniacs.
Yes.
With
Of
of course, yeah.
Freakazoid.
Freakazoid.
There was
I believe it was Animaniacs, the one with the pigeons, right? That was a little
they
segment
had-
in Animaniacs. Yeah.
The Angry Pigeons.
Yeah.
Pinky and the Brain was on there before they had their own show too. There was I said Freakazoid. There was Where in the World is Carmen San Diego. Biker Meister Mars.
I mean, not cartoon, but like Scrubs does like a whole like
They had a musical episode.
yeah, whole musical episode.
Yeah.
Not
That's
that
the one with
like West Side Story is the only musical that they do, but like there's just so much. Every time you hear like someone saying like Maria, like you hear it all the time. It's just because it's so like ingrained in our culture, in my brain holes.
Your brain wrinkles.
Yeah. So it's like everlasting. Like even when it just pops up on my phone, like I'm like I just have to listen to it again. So
Okay.
whether it's like the original Broadway cast recording or the movie recording, which mostly isn't anybody in the movie singing, but it's fine, it's no problem.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
Like the dubbing, like when it didn't look right. Now, granted, like I get ADRing will do that, especially in the early '60s. Might be able to, obviously, they don't obviously have the tech. Oh my God, they obviously don't have the technology nowadays that they can edit a lot easier than they did. But still,
But yeah, I believe George Chakiris is singing most of his stuff.
which one is he? Bernardo?
Bernardo.
Yeah, not Puerto Rican.
Not Puerto Rican, Greek, which we'll also get into. Natalie Wood is definitely not singing. It's Marty Nixon singing her part.
Not Puerto Rican.
Jim Bryant, I believe, is singing Richard Beymer's stuff.
He's white.
And then Rita Moreno, I believe she does most of her singing except for like one song because it's like
she
really
rolls
high.
her R's. Anytime there's a rolled R, that's her. That's truly her.
Yeah.
They roll their R's pretty fucking good. So
I wanted to ask you, watching it again, like how many of these songs like are automatically like, oh, I know that song, of course.
Maria, the Jets, when they're like, we're the Jets, like when they're going to the fight or whatever.
Jet song, yeah.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Jet song? Okay.
I Feel Pretty.
Of course. Now, to that credit, so when Anger Management came out with Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson, I had not seen West Side Story at that time. And so when they were doing that, I was thinking, what is this? Not knowing the reference that they were making until I saw West Side Story.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of like The Simpsons, one of my other favorite things, and like yours as well. Like has so many references to it that when you finally see it, like, oh, that's what they were talking about.
Well, yeah, but a lot of those, when I loved The Simpsons was when I was in my teenage, before I was a teenager in teenage years, maybe early 20s, but I doubt it. Like we talked about when we were eating, like the first 15 years are probably good to me. And then after that, it just kind of starts to get not as good. But yeah, to be an adult and watch something that I saw when I was a kid and get a reference then, it's like, oh, and it's kind of not necessarily eye-opening, but like, oh, no wonder I didn't get it because that's in reference to this and I've only recently seen it. So it's cool for those kind of things. But for West Side Story, I was never against musicals. I've known your love for it for many, many, many years. And you're right, with the effect that this play and movie has had on pop culture and other things is very big. I don't think that's the reason why I didn't watch it. I think it's just that it sounds kind of like masculine, right? Yeah. It's just like, oh, musicals, I'm a guy, like guys you should. But like the thing about that, I think I've talked to you about, not on the podcast, was a couple of years ago, I was listening to Adele, and a male coworker had got to work, and he's like, who's that? And I was like, oh, it's Adele. And he's like, why do you listen to Adele? I was like, because she's good. And he's like, but it's a girl, like it's a female singer. I was like, okay. And that kind of like, not necessarily rubbed me the wrong way.
So it wasn't even the genre, like the kind of like easy listen. I don't even know what you call Adele, like pop, easy pop listening, whatever, like that.
Sad pop listening.
Sad pop. Ooh, sad pop, I like that.
Sad pop.
Sad pop.
They're back.
Anyway, but it was just all girl singers, so he doesn't listen to any girl singers.
Apparently.
Okay, cool.
But I know I've made fun of you for listening to Taylor Swift.
Aretha hit the fucking bricks.
Yeah, like Taylor Swift's not my type, even though that's like pop country sort of. Well, she used to be country-ish, but now she's just like pop.
Just pop.
Yeah. Pop.
Dirty pop.
Yeah. No, she doesn't swear, so she's clean pop, right? Yeah. So
a couple here and there.
She does? Okay. Yeah. It's like when Beyonce swore in that one of her newer albums, like she said fuck, people are like like white people mostly, like, oh my God, why is she swearing? But anyway, I know I've made like,
because if you fuck her good, take your ass to Red Lobster, bruh. You know this.
Beyonce's a cheap lady. Like and she's married to Jay-Z. So the guy, and she's still with Jay-Z even after that whole elevator thing. So it's just, they were just never my type of movies to watch.
That's fine.
And I know likely I was missing out, not necessarily missing out, but just that like there's a whole genre of movies that are well beloved by millions that I just don't get into, like horror even. Like it's just not my type of movie, but I'll watch them, and I do enjoy it, but I don't like the scary spookiness of it. But if a movie, or I'm sorry, musical is fun, then I'm gonna be more engaged with. Like the beginning of West Side Story, I'm so fucking bored because that intro to the movie is like 5 minutes.
Oh, the overture.
Yeah.
It's music.
I get it, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm fucking bored. And then once it starts, it goes right into the music, right? They're snapping their fingers, they're ready to go. Like, sweet. I just want to say really quick, those motherfuckers don't know how to play basketball. Like, what they're doing is like they don't know what.
One of my notes was...
They don't know the fundamentals of basketball.
Are the Jets better at basketball than Brandon?
I take offense to that. Deep offense to that.
I do. That was
now,
dumb.
to be fair, though, they did dribble perfectly fine. They did take the 2 steps and they stopped. Like,
Yeah,
they
but
were
it's
fine.
dance ball, not just regular basketball.
Well, here's the thing. If I
Like,
saw...
how many twirls do you do when you play?
what are the other... Not just twirls. What's another one called? Like a...
Pirouettes?
Pirouettes, thank you. That's on skates, though, right? Or is that in just in general?
I don't know.
Okay.
What am I dancing?
So if I saw these dudes doing that on my courts,
Dance balling?
like I'm hitting up the local court, right? And I just see some dudes spinning in circles, and like it's only on one foot. And then technically, it's not traveling if they stop the dribble, and they're just doing that, and that's their pivot foot. I'd be like, I'm leaving.
They do a lot of two-handed passing.
That's
They
okay.
do that.
Yeah. That's very of the time. They weren't doing like those single no look pass. Like they're always just here's the ball, man, and like passing straight to the guy. Like no like look away like early magic and stuff like that. It's just here you go, Michael, like right to you. But if I saw those dudes like dancing around like that in the streets, I don't know. I feel like I'd have choice words. Like get the fuck off my street, and like just yelling, them, stop dancing at the street, you fucking losers. But I do enjoy the movie though. Like once it starts and really starts to the story's there,
But you understand like the meaning of the overture, right? Like it just has all the parts and all the little pieces of music, the cues that you're gonna come to recognize in the play that you're about to watch.
No, I didn't catch that at all.
Okay.
Only because when that's playing,
The
I'm
little,
like I'm bored.
motifs, if you will, all that sort
Well,
of stuff.
I don't even remember. To be honest, I don't even remember seeing a lot of that overture because I was thinking, I'm like, what are all these lines? Is that the city? And then when it faded out, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, it's the city. Yeah, and but I do like the music. I think I like the music more without the singing. Like if it's just the orchestra playing,
It's amazing.
I like it a lot.
Well, it's fun. Like we can get into like the music. We'll just like real quick.
Okay, do it.
Everything like everyone talks about like when it comes to West Side Story, it's tritones, right?
I don't know what that means.
It's like
Are they tones that try?
it's tones that try real time.
They try real hard.
It's like 3 whole tones away. If you go like on a scale, right? There's 12 tones. It's 6 tones. It's right in the center.
The baritone is at the bottom. Baritone.
Yeah, the
Right?
baritones.
Okay.
The deftones are in there. There's the mighty boss tones.
I fucking
They're
hate
halfway
you.
through there too.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like directly in the middle of like that scale, right? So there's a lot of tension because it's real. Oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Oh my God, now I fucking forgot.
Tits.
Anyway, it's hard on your ears, right? So you want to hear it like resolve. So like that. Dissonance, that's what I'm looking for.
So wait, and really quick with that whistling, how come the Puerto Ricans there's the whistle, and then the Jets had the whistle too? How come the Sharks and the Jets had a whistle when it didn't sound like the same whistle? Because when Bernardo and his gang were first getting to docks, there's the like they do that, and then the Puerto Ricans walk in. But then later, after Bernardo and Riff were killed, you hear the and then they come over the gate. I was like, well, is it the Sharks whistle or is it the Jets whistle?
It's the Jets whistle.
So then who whistled that when the Puerto Ricans got there to docks? Because
So that's their guy. He's watching them at the door.
I know he was. Yeah, I know
he.
he was. That's why he let them know when the cops showed up in a little bit. But like, because he's like the
So
lookout.
if you listen, like should we get?
Okay,
we're
go
getting like into the
Fine,
nitty gritty.
Go ahead.
Or do you want to do like a quick overview? We're gonna spend a lot of time on this. That's what
Oh
I'm saying.
man, I don't know if there's enough room in this memory card.
So anyway, but let me just get back to like the tritones. It's a lot of tension and dissonance that wants to resolve.
Okay.
So at least everyone theorizes that that's what Leonard's going for.
Is he dead?
He is dead now.
How long ago did he die?
I don't remember.
Okay. So
I don't know. I can't. I honestly, I can't tell you.
okay.
There is video like he was older, but whatever. Didn't I? That's the biggest thing because it's 2 rival gangs not in harmony with each other. Like there's tension between the 2 gangs. So when you hear those little motifs like a like it's supposed to show that they're not together. Like there's
I
different.
keep
sides
thinking
of
you're
the
gonna go. You're putting your two fists in front of you. Feel like you're gonna do like the Superman, like
Yeah,
open up your
full
shirt.
open up my shirt.
Yeah. Or you're gonna do this, the run the jewels. And fucking Actually, I think the fist. It's not like that. It's like this, and then they. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in music like that tritone, it can resolve in either direction. So it sounds nice again, right? So it's used to build tension and then create release.
Okay.
So like when you hear Maria and Tony singing, like they're in harmony, it sounds nice. Where it's like it's the other stuff, it's kind of hard. So like when the Jets use that kind of music, it's supposed to be tension. Like it's supposed to keep you on edge. But like when he whistles that the cops are coming, it's just a regular ass whistle because they're not in tension with the police because the police are kind of on the Jets' side, right?
Well, they're white.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's, just sort of it's a way to use music to like create like this in this particular movie, like kind of racial tension between
Well,
the two gangs.
would you say really quick that the Jets are the protagonists in this? Because they seem to have they seem to have. That's the thing. So when it comes to the tensions and stuff like that, like they're gonna have the war. What they call it? War
Rumble.
Sure. When they're
The war cancel.
War cancel. So the Puerto Ricans didn't know a lot about it. Like he's like, yeah,
Bernardo knows.
Well, yeah, but like when they,
I understand the rules.
but when they get to the
war
fight,
council.
he's like, oh, you guys, and you always want this. Like he wasn't fully well versed in how they do the stuff, right? Like he's like, you gotta shake hands. He's like, I ain't gonna shake hands with you. Like I don't give a fuck. And he's like, well, that's the rules. Like you guys and your rules. He just seemed like he wasn't as experienced. He wasn't as so like that's my thought is that it seems like most of the movie is revolving around the Jets. And not to say that the Puerto Ricans the Sharks don't have their share of the movie, but it seemed to me that there's more Jet.
That's one of the things people bring up when it comes to the music. The Jets have all like the motifs, like the and like the snapping and shit like that. Whereas when the Sharks sing, they really don't have like a musical identity other than the America song. But there's not like there's not those little notes and stuff in the score that like distinguish themselves as their own like their musical force. Like like when you see like Sharks come on the screen, you don't hear like a little something that lets you know that that's them. So that's one of the things that people said when it comes to like the score itself.
It's valid.
So it kind of focuses Jets wise, but really it kind of focuses more on like tension, and then the power of like the love between Tony and Maria, that kind of
that day and a half love.
Yeah, the day and a half of love.
Before
that resolves that tension.
Yeah.
Until it's
Gone.
tragic and that it meets tension again.
And to say really well, we'll get to that. I'm sorry. I want to talk about Chino, but like.
So let's go. Actually, I want to go over the story.
Yeah, we didn't do anything. So who's in this movie? Who directed it? Who's that? We're 23 minutes in, and we haven't talked about that shit.
So West Side Story of 1961, based on the play West Side Story that came out in 1957.
What?
Yeah. The play was like choreographed, conceived, and everything by pretty much
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
4 dudes, right? Jerome Robbins, Arthur Lawrence, Leonard Bernstein, and Stephen Sondheim. So Sondheim did the lyrics, Bernstein did the music, Lawrence wrote the book, and then
he read the book.
Wrote the book.
Hey, I read a book. Put my name on that fucking shit.
And then Robbins did the choreography, the directing of the play and stuff like that.
Right.
So Robbins and Robert Weiss, who directed Sound of Music, they co-directed the movie because they were like, we don't want this Broadway dude who just dances to direct our whole movie. So we'll have him do all the dance sequences and shit like that. And then Robert Weiss will direct all the drama scenes and stuff like that. So there was that. The movie's written by Ernest Lehman, who did like North by Northwest and stuff like that.
Okay.
Natalie Wood as Maria.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Beymer as Tony, Russ Tamblyn as Riff, who's actually, I didn't know until I did research this time, Amber Tamblyn's dad from Joan of Arcadia.
Yeah.
Rita Moreno as Anita, and George Chakiris as Bernardo. So that's the main cast there. Let's get a little synopsis here. 2 youngsters from rival New York gangs.
It says youngsters?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Sorry, 2 youths from rival New York City gangs, which is kind of not really right because neither of them are in the gang, but...
Yeah, Tony's already out of it.
And
Maria has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
Fall in love, but tensions between their respective friends build towards tragedy. It's just a retelling of Romeo and Juliet.
Exactly that. But then they don't both die at the end. Her heart is broken, so she's dead on inside, but yeah.
Her spirit dies, but her body...
For Lucy Goosey, ready to go. Give her a couple months. She'll be fine. So, what were you going to say?
Nah, I totally forgot.
Okay, so this movie starts off immediately, right, with like music, which is great. That a musical, who'd have thought would start with a song or something like that, but it's still a very well received movie. They remade it in 2021. Steven Spielberg did a remake, not shot for shot or anything like that. Some name changes here and there, but pretty much the exact same story.
So that's the first movie I saw after COVID,
Okay.
like going back to theaters, and it was in the IMAX in Irvine, so I got to see it. And so I was just sitting there watching it. And there wasn't that a lot of people in that theater.
I wonder why.
It didn't do that well. There's that going on too.
There's that too.
But just fucking like I could feel the stupid smile like on my face like the second it started.
So people are like, hey, oh, no, I'm sorry, they have to whisper in their theater.
Hey nerd, can you calm the fuck down for like 5 seconds?
Hey honey, tell that guy to close his mouth. He keeps smiling so much, it's freaking me out. He's too happy.
Sir, people want to hear the songs. They don't need to hear you sing them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And can you please put your pants back on? You don't have to wear boxers, sir, but please put your pants back on. You're not the boss of me. So I put my first little thing here is, well, I asked you why. My question is, why did you like this movie so much? You already told me.
But anyway, so the music, so complex, so just fucking rump shaking. Is that what the youths,
Rump shaking?
Is that what the youths say
Yeah, that's
today?
very mid of you to say, but yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, most of the music. Yeah, go ahead.
I wrote, why is this fucking intro 45 minutes? I had never seen this intro. I don't know why.
It's only 5.5 minutes long,
it's
dude.
too long. If you would have started the movie like, boom, with them on the basketball court, just go
the
into it.
cityscapes.
Yeah. And then you could have had that song at the end because it's called an overture, isn't it? The movie's over. So it's an overture and not an intro-ture. Like it's, or, insure. What else? Why? I'm sorry. Well, they don't know how basketball works. That's one of my other comments. These guys are like 45, right? Because they're wearing so much fucking makeup.
Yeah.
And we made a joke about it earlier. So Natalie Wood, not Puerto Rican.
No.
3/4 of those Puerto Ricans, not even Puerto Rican,
No.
correct? But
George Chakiris, he's Greek. There's an Asian-looking lady who is Asian. So there's that.
yeah.
I don't think any of the guys were Puerto Ricans either.
Okay.
I put a note on here. The way they throw the yellow paint on the jets during the prologue is how they put all the brown makeup on all the all the sharks. They just buckets of brown paint just thrown all over their face.
They put them next to a wall. They stripped them to the undies, and then they just
hurled buckets of paint.
Yeah. And then some kind of like powder, so it would stick. Or no, the powder first, then the paint. Yeah. Or they put their hands on the wall and just throw that. But like,
So I got mad a little bit initially because I was going to watch it on Freevee, and I was like, how good's the quality?
then you realize you own it on.
Then I realized I own it on Blu-ray, and then I pulled it out. I was like, I only have it on Blu-ray? Why don't I have it on 4K? Then I realized there isn't a 4K one. There is a 4K of the remake, but not of the old one. So I'm like, all right, that's good. So when I put it in here, though, it looked really nice. There are like a couple scenes, I guess, they just... I don't know. I don't know if you notice halfway through, like it just looks completely different. It just the transfer is bad on those particular.
I would
scenes
actually say for Amazon Freevee or whatever, it looked pretty good for what it was.
For the most part, but like where it's stark difference, you can tell like, oh, that looks super different, super weird, super old.
Well, I think the one part that I was like, huh, like that looked like shit was when they go from Maria's room to the dance where she's like spinning and it's like that looked real funky. And
so the transition or the establishing shot of them dancing from above.
The transition from her spinning wearing the dress.
Oh, you don't
to
like
going
the
to
effect?
dance.
You didn't think it was cool?
No, it's fine. It just didn't look good. Like the quality wasn't good, and that's where I was kind of like, But everything else on that transfer or whatever, it looked fine. It wasn't 4K, but it looked fine. And when you say that it's not made on 4K or whatever it is yet, I mean, it still makes me think of True Lies not being on Blu-ray or 4K or anything. Yeah, it's fucking James Cameron. Get it together, Cameron. If I saw people dancing, okay, I already said that. I'd have choice words. So much makeup. Oh, so Bernardo had it coming. So Mike, many years ago, when we did the Sound of Man Beast episode, Mike and I, mostly Mike, wrote the lyrics and the script. Well, the script I mostly wrote. Mike definitely did the lyrics for the singing. And Mike put a joke in there that initially I didn't get because I hadn't seen West Side Story at that time either. but you explained it to me. I was like, okay, I get it. But like, there's a scene where Dave says to me, "You," or Brian, whichever one says, is like, "You said you punched the shark," and then my retort is, "Bernardo had that shit coming."
Oh, okay. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
I didn't remember.
And Bernardo did get punched in West Side Story. He got punched by what, Riff?
Riff.
And then that's when they have the knife fight. And then he gets, Riff dies. Which, I'm sorry.
Oh, I mean, that's not, like Beat It. The whole Beat It video is a fucking reference to West Side Story.
Do you think, now granted they were stabbed in the belly, do you think you're going to die that quickly from a stab? Because I think you're going to be in agonizing pain, first and foremost, getting stabbed.
I don't even think you're going to die from a...
That's like a 2.5-inch blade. I mean, that's pretty deep.
It's not going to be good.
No.
Like, you might hit an organ.
Fucking organ and stuff.
Like, oh, junk.
That's like one clean chunk.
But they're not going to die instantly like that.
No.
But
No,
why
no.
would you expect them to? It's a movie.
I get it. That's what I was thinking. Like, so you get Riff that dies, he's like, ah, and he hands the knife off, right? So when he falls to the ground, I'm thinking, he's sort of like, ah, like, this fucking hurts, man.
Fucking stabbed you, man.
Oh, fuck, man, help me, man. I'm gonna shit myself.
God. Oh, God, there's so much.
I'm a fucking loser.
When you get stabbed and it hurts in your gut.
Don't let Bernardo stab me and stuff. I want to live. I'm actually.
Why did he sound like Sebastian right
I don't know.
I want to
Under the
live.
sea.
I want to live.
Under the highway, we are gonna go. Oh shit!
See how much fun musicals are?
No.
You fucking lame-o.
I'm not trying to suck my own dick like I normally do, but I'm pretty good on the fly of making up lyrics with things. I don't know what it is. It's probably you rubbing off on me pretty hard.
Yeah.
But like, there's
I
times
was
when
rubbing something.
there's times when I'll just be in a singing mood. I won't sing, of course, but go to prison that is sing. But but I'll definitely run these lyrics through my head. And I'll never be able to repeat them.
Right.
But like they'll rhyme so good, and I will get so hard. My heart will beat. And I'm not physically hard, but like I get so excited that I was like, I always think
H-O-R-D. Horde.
Yeah, horde. I always think that when I do that, I'm like, Mike would have probably creamed his pants if he heard me ever singing these words. That the fact that everything went together. But I'll always sing something or think it in my head of a song that already exists, of course, because I can't put that kind of shit in my head. But I do like that. I truly like singing. I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
But
like you say, I'm good. Like, I'm not that much better than you either.
You're still better.
I'm just more musically aware, I would say, than you are.
Okay. I think I understand
so
tone.
Yeah.
Like I think tone I get. Like I'm not good at that.
And my pitch is pretty good too. And I love harmony. So I do kind of a similar thing, not the same thing, but like if I'm riding in the car, I don't like do my own lyrics, but I make my own harmonies with songs that are on. Like they'll be singing, and then I'll try to like find the harmony and sing along with them.
I feel like my way is I just rip and I rhyme.
Yeah.
And I rhyme and I rip.
Yeah.
So it's just different.
I mean, who are the top 5 MCs of all time?
Dylan, and Dylan.
There's only 4.
I know he does. Because he's like, you're too close. So getting stabbed. They both got stabbed in the belly.
Yeah.
So obviously there's pretty major organs in that area, but like. I know.
Wait. Let's go back again.
Okay.
Rival gangs.
Yes.
Right. Riff is the leader of the Jets. Bernardo's
used
leader.
to be Tony. Correct.
Used to be Tony.
Tony's one like the
They're
originating.
probably like co-leaders, I would say.
Do you think they did at the same time? Because Riff seems much younger than Tony.
No, they're best friends.
So what? Riff is
You're
still
only
in
a
school.
year younger than me.
That's valid. But let's look at it like this. Let's look at it like visually, right?
Okay.
Tony looks like he's 26.
Okay.
Riff looks like he's like 23.
Okay, I never thought about a big age difference, but okay.
Well, because even Maria,
I understand.
Even Maria and Tony, I'm like, what is that age difference? He's like 20. Let's just say movie wise, he's like 20. She's 14.
I mean, I think he just looks old because he looks older.
Okay,
but he's probably only like 17.
And it's true because many people from 30.
Although he does have a job, so he may be 18.
Yeah. Did you see the prices for those things? Like,
No.
I was like, oh my
5
God.
cents, something like that?
Not even that. Like a cent for
Hell
all
yeah.
this shit. I'm like, fuck, dude.
Penny candies or a penny? Oh, yeah.
Like a Coke was probably like 3 cents.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, here's a nickel, Tony. Or Doc, fucking get the shit. So a lot of the movies that we've seen, it's like Raging Bull, right? You got De Niro's character who's, I don't know, let's say respectfully 27. He's supposed to be 27 in the movie.
Something like that, yeah.
And the girl's like 13,
16, yeah.
16. He's trying to...
Oh, no, yeah, maybe she's younger, yeah.
Yeah. He's fucking that shit hard
Yeah.
for sure. Now she looks old and she's like, "Hey guys, you want to fucking?" It's like Dr. Girlfriend from Venture Brothers. Like,
You want to take me out? Go take me out. That's
yeah,
fine with me.
well, you gonna fucking hit me around? You
What's
fucking
that, your dick? All right, I'll look at it.
was that
You want
uncut?
to touch it too? Okay.
Yeah, all right, it's uncut. All right, I'll suck that. You know, let's get a little stinky. I
You
should.
think I fight the big dick? I'll fight the big dick.
I'll fucking bite the big dick. Really quick about Venture Brothers. I always like that Dr. Girlfriend is like drawn like this beautiful, like, you know, very full body, and then you get the voice, and it's a perfect balance, right? Because they always have that beautiful woman, and she's always like the damsel in distress, but she's like the smartest one in the show. She's always very level-headed, very smart, but she's like, "Hey guys, you want?" Like she has that deep voice, which I just fucking love. Anyway,
Super silly.
yeah. So
Yeah, I never thought of the age difference that much, and I don't believe it's supposed to be that, but maybe it is.
Yeah.
Because Romeo and Juliet are like, I don't know if they're the same age, but they're not that much.
you're
far
asking the
apart.
wrong person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I think in Romeo they're younger. They're like fucking 14 or something like that.
Perfect.
So
I do like that these gangs have very strong understandings of democracy. Like
Yeah.
they have their rules, right? Like, hey, look, when we fight, what are we fucking talking about? We got some bricks, we got some pipes, we got some chains. We gonna do a fair fight? Like,
they say knives, I say knives. If
Yeah.
they say guns, I say guns. Yeah.
like what they call them, zipper gun or something like that.
Zip guns.
Zip guns. So that just means a real fucking gun, right?
I don't know. What a
Yeah, I don't
zip
know.
gun
It's
is.
zap.
Yeah.
Zap.
It's the one where you put like the rubber band and then from the back. And
Yeah, it's a wrist rocket.
Yeah. shoots it up.
Wrist rocket will fucking kill. If you
So anyway, so they rumble a little bit. Some Baby John gets cut up. So like, you know what?
starts crying.
Fuck this shit. We're gonna settle this once and for all, Rumble style. But we need Tony because he's a madman, I guess, from back in the day.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Didn't seem like it. I mean,
Not
he
in the
grew up.
slightest.
He grew up a little bit. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm over that shit. I'm better than that. I got a job."
Yeah.
And he's super jazzed about this job, but he's like, "All right, Riff, I'll do it for you." Hey,
But
what
he didn't
best
say he's
buds?
gonna like fight with them. He's
No.
just gonna go with him to the dance to challenge Bernardo and the Sharks.
Right.
While he's there, Bernardo's younger sister, who just got to America like a month ago or something like that,
America.
she's going to go to her first dance. And that's when her and Tony meet. Sun, 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 sun.
I definitely got
Sun, 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 sun,
some
sun,
like
sun, sun,
what are
sun,
those vibes
sun,
like movie wise? Paul Thomas
sun,
Anderson's
sun, sun, sun.
what's the Adam Sandler?
So you're supposed to snap, and I can't snap. Maybe that's why I love this movie so much, because there's so much cool snapping, and I can't snap. So
It's not that you can't snap; you're just not good at it. See?
Let's try left hand.
It's so sad. It's so sad in comparison. It's like going like this, like, hey, this is me. Me. Like you're perfect. And then there's this kind of bounce. Oh, see?
See?
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on.
That's still good too.
Yeah. It's because
Even with like practice, I can't get the left to sound like that.
I just love the buildup of it, how you're so good at the right and you go to your left, like it's just skin rubbing. There's no sound, there's no heart.
All I did was slough off fucking like 4 layers of dead skin on my thumb.
It's
That's
good though.
all that was.
It's all your work. Like
Yeah.
it's from working. It's just get rubbing off the dirt.
all the grime.
Yeah. So anyway, they have a lot of like democracy. They have these rules to it, and I can value that because it's like a lot of it is like I don't think it's necessarily that they don't like the Puerto Ricans there. The Puerto Ricans don't like them there, and the Puerto Ricans like hey man, we just came to America. Like we didn't ask you to come here, but it's like
It's how all racism works.
Right.
It's the unknown and
like when the Irish came here, when all these other people from other countries came here to the United States, you're not American. Like
which is funny because like most of those guys are Polish. They make a lot
they
of
said
Polish
Polacks.
jokes, right?
Yeah, they're saying Polacks.
So these guys are probably like one generation away from being immigrants themselves, and I'm sure their families got
they probably got
accosted
thick
a
accents.
bunch
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
But like as soon as that switches, then they're like, oh, these fucking brown guys come in here.
Who the fuck
All
are
of a
they?
sudden, yeah.
And it still happens to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also problematic.
Literally nothing's any better.
No.
In the slightest.
Welcome to America. But like Puerto Rico is still was that a province? What is that? What are they?
Territory.
Territory of the United States. And I didn't.
When was the annexation? I don't know when, but go ahead.
Okay. I didn't realize that she had just got here. Maria, that is.
Yeah, I believe she in the dress shop when she wants to cut her dress a little bit lower.
Yeah.
I believe she says she's only been here like a month or 2, maybe.
That's a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
So no wonder he's so protective. And that's something that I have on next too is like family members and stuff like that being overprotective, which is super toxic. Like,
I just watched Selena the other day, and it's fucking gross.
Really quick about Selena. I didn't know that like Spanish speaking.
She was murdered?
Well, I knew that. Thanks a lot, fucking Yolanda.
Yolanda.
You fucking bitch. I've seen Selena.
I will not answer that question. And
she's in jail for the rest of her fucking life.
you know what? She's up for parole in like 5 years, something like that.
She ain't getting out.
It's not that far.
She's not gonna get out.
Okay.
Like Selena was too. I didn't actually. Okay, here's the things I didn't know about Selena. Here we go.
She's Mexican American.
She was born in America. I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not know that. And when I found that, I was like, wait, what? Like that blew my fucking mind. And the other thing is that a lot of like Spanish speaking and people from like Mexican, they'll celebrate birthdays by they'll have a Yolanda
effigy
no,
to burn.
No, a Yolanda like piñata, and then the child, typically a girl, will dress as Selena, and they'll just beat it up.
No, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, they'll
That's
beat it up.
fun.
I saw it on Reddit,
Yeah.
and then it had multiple videos of like little girls doing this for their birthday, and I thought it was one adorable because they're the little Selenas and they're just beating up Yolanda fucking piñatas, and then two,
They're using their bitty bitty bats.
yeah,
Yeah.
bitty bitty bat bitty bitty. But it's just like that's awesome. That's kind of like it's sort of a tradition that they'll do.
I'd never heard of that. That's awesome. That's fun.
Well, but you're also not like, I mean, you didn't grow up. You weren't like in a very Spanish household, right? Like you weren't. What?
Careful, buddy.
All I'm saying.
I know
is,
what you're saying.
Yeah,
like it's offensive, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Is it? Like I'm just like because so you didn't know about it.
Brandon's calling me a coconut. Everybody.
You're
He's a piece of
if
shit.
anything, you're more of like no coconut. Works.
All right, if I'm not that Mexican, you're not that Asian either.
I'm not saying that I am. I claimed I know, and I think I know enough about. I don't speak like any kind of Filipino dialect. Like Tagalog is the main one, but
I don't speak Asianese. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah. But at the same time, I just wasn't aware of it, so I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
So, were they wearing 501s? Those Levi's? What do you think those were? They were definitely Levi's.
Yeah. They tore a bunch because they're dancing so damn hard. So they like stitched them with like stretchy fabric.
Did they really? Okay. When they're in the alleyway, the Coca-Cola scene where he's trying to put the Cokes back and stuff, very homoerotic.
The wrestling?
Yeah, they were wrestling like, and uncle,
I had uncle.
and they're all smiling about it. Call it. Like I was like, oh, this is bringing a fire inside
Everyone's
my
so
loins.
sweaty. Shirts are down to the navel, open. Hell yeah.
And open like wide around the neck too.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Is it called a pander song? Like a song like blah, 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 like it's quick. Steve Martin did one recently in Only Murders in the Building. I thought it was called a pander. Let me see here.
Parody?
No, it's not parody. Here, keep talking. Like talk more about the movie. I'm gonna look this up real quick.
So one of the things that always bothered me growing up was that
Different ethnicities.
was immigrants. And here's the thing about
Get out of here.
No, it was I was always a little upset because Tony has the best male solo songs. Like it's obvious, right?
Sure.
But he is white, so I couldn't play him in like a play because I'm the brownest man in most rooms that I'm in.
Right.
So I couldn't like sing the Tony song. So that was always a little bit of a bummer. Because I would love to sing. Because I think Something's Coming is one of my favorite songs of all time, which is the song he does in the alley once Ref leaves. Like, who knows?
Really quick. So Steve Martin sings.
Could be. Sorry.
It's the
Who knows?
Which of the Pickwick triples did it? And it was I thought it started with a P. I thought it was called a Pander song. Steve Martin. I'll have to just find it. But basically, I didn't understand the meaning of the word.
What are we talking about? I don't know.
Because I thought that song when who was singing that it was quick like this. That's why I thought it would be that type of song. But I guess if you've never heard about
What
this,
songs are quick? There's no fast songs in this movie.
I don't know, man. The one seemed pretty quick. Watch the performance. Okay, it's not telling me, so forget it. Just exclude everything I just said.
Yeah, please do. Cut
Okay,
it out.
Sweet. No, I'm not doing that.
Cut it out.
Okay. Natalie Wood.
Yeah.
So her death.
I didn't do any research on it.
Okay.
I just know there was a boat.
Mm-hmm.
And
It was off Catalina.
Okay.
Which is in California. It's I forgot something Catalina Island. There's a word before Catalina.
Santa?
I think Santa. Yeah, Santa Catalina. So her husband at the time and Christopher Walken were in Catalina. And Christopher Walken and the
Natalie,
husband she fell off the boat.
fell off the boat.
She had scratches on her head. I don't know where she got those. So
I forgot about it. I couldn't remember if it was him or Jack Nicholson.
that did what?
But he was with the Roman Polanskis because they were in his house when Roman
I think it was Jack.
did all the raping, and
Wasn't it Jack?
Jack was like out in like Europe. Or
He wasn't a part of it, but like
no, he wasn't home or something like that. But it was at his house.
Okay, even better. So they were the husband. I don't remember his name, Craig or something like that. Natalie and Christopher Walken were in Catalina. They had dinner. They were there visiting, and Christopher Walken and the husband guy were in a movie together, Brainwash.
Fucking what's his face?
And so then they went out. They went back to the boat, and apparently there was an argument, and like other boaters and other people can hear the argument, like it being so loud. And then they went out to sea. And then by 12:30, like 12 past midnight, the husband notified like the Coast Guard police, like, "Hey, we can't find Natalie. Like, we think she went overboard." And apparently she can't swim, which is obviously a good combination to be on a boat, especially without a life preserver or a life jacket. And by I think 5 a.m. was when like the Coast Guard was notified. So you got to think like 4.5 hours after he reported her like not on the boat is when they're dispatched. And then they found her body, you know, she was floating upside down on the surface of the water. And so at that time, it was just considered a...
Robert Wagner, by the way.
Okay, I said Craig. At the time, it was considered just like, oh, she just drowned, like she just fell off the boat. But then they reopened the case back in 2019 or something like that to reevaluate it. And then now it's, she still drowned, but like they put like with unforeseen, like they added more to it.
All I see is like, Wagner's like a person of interest. That's all I know.
So is Christopher Walken, technically. And so there was photos of Natalie Wood that apparently they didn't document before initially. So she had like a cut on her head. She had scratches on her knees. She had scratches on her hands, scratches on her arms. So they're like, ooh, and then she had bruise on her. So they're thinking like, it seems sort of like there was a struggle and sort of something was going on. But then you got to think, you got both those guys on the boat and it's like, we're in this to fucking together, man. We got it. Like, it's like, ugh. And the only person alive now that's really involved was Christopher Walken. And
Robert Wagner's dead?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Well, I think you know some. I think you should look that up
I'll look
because
it up.
I don't know how accurate my storytelling is. But anyway, very troubling for Natalie Wood.
No, he's still alive.
Okay. Not only that she's portraying a Puerto Rican, like this wouldn't happen now, but just her death was just a little sus. Too young too. She's like barely 40 or something like that, and yeah. So it's still kind of open. You know, obviously, we'll never know. I highly doubt either of those two guys are going to say anything about it. I mean, being that it was in the 80s that happened.
Yeah, because do you even like confess or anything on your deathbed? Maybe, but
maybe if you got nothing to live for anymore, like you're about to die, maybe that's why they do it. You're on your deathbed. Like, what
maybe
do you
Walken will, because I don't think he would have done anything. Mm-hmm. If anything, he would have like just helped with the cover up, right?
Which is it's an accomplice.
Yeah, which isn't good. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
I don't think he did the murdering, but maybe he'll say something on his deathbed. That'd be fun.
I was gonna do it. Oh, did you see that? I was gonna do a walking. I was moving my shoulders like, hey, she shouldn't have been there. But yeah.
All right, he's a fucking John Travolta.
Hey, you said you helped me move. So she's definitely not Puerto Rican. Born out of, so all the purple for the Puerto Ricans. Like, I greatly love that.
I mean, let's talk about like the sets
Okay,
and
colors.
the colors. Yeah. Like, you ever seen? I don't even know why I even thought I was gonna say. You ever seen the French movie Umbrellas of Cherbourg? I don't.
Did I?
Yeah. But like, just tons of another musical, like a tons of color. So like the gym scene, which is a funny gym because it's like has a bunch of sconces and shit like that, but there's just two basketball hoops. Like,
and then there's no room behind it because there's a stage on one. I'm like, well, you ain't doing any layups on that side.
It's like, has Brandon ever played a court like that? I doubt.
I have. No. So I have played in, there was
like a church or maybe something.
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. I was in a league when I was living in Fullerton or something like that, and we couldn't play in our normal league spot because something they were doing, like the electrical or some shit. So like, oh, we got this other court, this other play, and I don't know, like 3 feet behind the basket, it was a stage on each side. I was like, how the fuck are we going to drive to the paint? So we had to go at angles if we wanted to go to the paint, which kind of sucked. You can't go straight at it. But I'm typically a shooter anyway, so I'll go to the paint if I have open lane, but I'm not going to jump in them trees and just get...
If I'm anywhere, I'm going to ball hard. Like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna break ankles.
Yeah.
And like with the moves, but I'm also gonna
shoot the J.
I got nothing. I lost my shit.
Yeah.
Continue though. The colors.
Tell me about those awesome lyrics you make up again.
Which of the Pickwick triplets did it?
All right. Because I think some of my favorite shots are when he's singing Maria.
Okay.
And he's like walking.
Cinematography was great in this, by the way.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
He's walking across those big like green windows, and it's like super emeraldy looking.
When after he first met her, right?
Yes. Well, yeah. When he's singing Maria.
He's walking away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the camera during the mambo dance when they're going crazy back and forth. Riff does a slide with Griselda, I think, or Grisella, I think is his girl's name. And he slides her across as a move, and then the camera like moves along with them. It's motion you don't really see in the movie that much, and it looks super cool.
Well, to think the camera movements that they were doing at this time were pretty good, because like they would likely had things on like cranes and some of this stuff, but some of it definitely seemed handheld. Like
I didn't really get that much handheld.
There's a couple that seemed
feeling.
a little shaky, like when she was first going up to Tony's body, like when she ran back to his body when the police got there. That seemed a little like jumbly,
Okay.
but like I don't know for certain, because it was a quick pan, but at the same time the camera moved down too, and so that definitely could have been done crane, but that was just low to be that close to him and where she was. But I don't know. Yeah, this was the 60s. So, I mean, when did they film Chinatown?
73?
So like 10 years later, maybe a little
74?
longer, but like there was a good amount of handheld in that. But just, I'm sure cameras were a little different back then. Because like, 10 years makes a huge gap with technology and cameras. But
They were doing like crazy stuff too, because Jerome was an insane person. So like he like cut holes in the street to like get the camera super low so we can shoot up at people dancing. So like that, it's like probably one of the most iconic shots of the movie. It's Bernardo with the two sharks behind him, and they do that leg. I don't know what that move is called, that dance move with the kick out.
Okay.
So it's just them with the building behind them. And that's super low angle, like because they literally like cut into the ground to get that camera super low so they can be up at them.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they did handheld, but because Jerome wanted to do fucking anything he wanted to.
Jerome's the choreographer?
He's co-director, choreographer of the Broadway show, who got fired after like 4 sequences. Who's like, man, this motherfucker's taking all the time, spending all the money, and we can't continue doing this. So he got fired after that.
And for the movie?
From the movie, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then, because they already had the other director, Robert Weiss, doing the co-directing, so he just took over the rest of it. But they both got to share the Best Director Oscar, so that's good.
Okay. So he did like half the movie, and they're like, dude, his budget, bro.
I think he only did like 4 sequences. He did
At how many sequences are there? 10?
like full dance sequences. That's a good question. 8 or 9? No. I'd have to count them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, please don't.
But like I said, like all the drama stuff, he didn't do any of that. But like the prologue, which is all the stuff ending in the basketball courts, he did America.
America.
Cool. And there was one more. I don't remember which one he did. But you still have Something's Coming. You still have I Feel Pretty. You still have Tonight. You still have the Rumble and shit like that. He may have done the Rumble. But
Speaking of coming, really quick, when Maria said, what did she say? I appreciate this, Chino. When you come, use the back door. Is what she told him, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, that's some good phrasing.
Teodoro, Maria.
Anyway, so
Teodoro,
colors. The movie visually was very appealing.
It's fucking stunning, right? Every time I see it.
There's a few cuts here and there where they're in a wide, and then when they bring it into a medium, the lighting's not quite the same, but at the same time, it still looked great. The shadows, after Riff and Bernardo are dead, and they're doing that like angry dance in like that garage with all the vehicles, and they're using the lights from the vehicles.
Cool.
Is that what's it called? Cool. That'd be cool.
Another reference, like that's essentially the Bad video, like
Okay.
dancing in like a garage.
Okay. So
It's
like
brighter in the Bad video, but
Yeah.
that's where its
But
inspiration comes from.
the silhouettes of Ice or whatever his name is, like were just great, and seeing like their eyes, like and the harsh lighting of it. I forgot what it's called. I mean, obviously I'm not a gaffer. I'm not with lights at all. I don't know that shit. But I can appreciate it like when I see it visually.
So the dancers say that was, they say, like when you ever ask anyone who did that thing, like what's the hardest thing they ever did in their careers as dancers, it was filming that sequence.
I wonder why.
Because Jerome was like such a perfectionist, wanted all the angles. Baby John, the young blonde guy
Guy crying.
he had like pneumonia when he did it. And they would just have to come out like, hey man, we need to do it one more time. So like they would film and then he would just like fucking collapse and just had to go to the hospital eventually. They're just
even when fucking Tony scaled that fence, I was like, that's a 15-foot fence, and he just like scaled it and flipped back over. I've only flipped like
which
that
is interesting
once.
because he doesn't dance one time in the whole damn movie.
Good.
But
he seems like a big guy. He looks like at least over 6 foot,
Yeah.
like 6 something. But again, when he scaled it and then he used his body and flipped over it, I've only done that once on a fence. And I'm athletic, but I'm not like in I wouldn't say like I'm in shape because I got a little belly, of course. But that's scary to do that, like the flip over like that. Because if you're not holding that other side right, I mean, you're gonna slip and just go right over it. But he scaled that shit quick. So I'm thinking,
how about the other side? They scaled at like a 10-foot wall on the other side.
Yeah, well, because they would kick off the wall too.
Yeah,
they jumped off of that and then they would grab it. But even that, the very first guy that you see climb that, I was like, that's some upper body strength. How quickly he was like, huh, and just picked himself right up.
They're like the. I mean, that was the thing. Like Jerome like went through like 2,000 candidates because he wanted the best dancers.
That's excessive
to do it.
But I get it. Truly, because if you're,
I mean, even Riff himself, like Russ, like jumping up and pulling himself up over that bar and sitting on it and then flipping off of it, like that's legit him. Like he might have been the best dancer.
Didn't seem like any wires were there or anything like that either. Yeah, when he went whoop and flipped on it, I was like, that seemed slow, like because it was so like because he's like, here we go. And when he spun around, I was like, I feel like I'd go a lot quicker than that. But he was like, landed perfectly. And
well, that's the thing too. Like you can tell the different dance styles between them two, because the Sharks are
between them two,
between them both.
There you go.
Both the gangs.
Yeah, I think between them. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
TWO. So like the Sharks are very movement based, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas the Jets are like super explosive. But you can tell by think of the difference between the cool number and the America number, and then just think of like the difference, like literally in the gym, like the Sharks doing their shit, like just it's fucking just Bernardo and Anita just like looking sexy as fuck. Where it's you go to the other side and it's Riff fucking doing backflips and like super somersaults and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's just different ways to like distinguish the two of them. Not to mention the purple and the yellow.
Do you think this movie would have profited greatly if it was in 3D? Like, not all of it, but like the certain times where they're going towards the screen when they're dancing, like, whoa, like if it came out.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, but
I put Maria as a dick.
Why?
Well, so she has like, she goes to the dance with Chino, and which is basically like a prearranged sort of relationship, because she definitely was not digging Chino.
No.
When Chino did not look Puerto Rican to me either, but whatever.
He looked like Fez from That 70s Show.
I don't even talk about Wilder Valderrama, that piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been a while since we recorded.
Is there anybody who's
Danny
not?
Yeah, that whole cast, except for Topher. Topher was a dickhead, from my understanding. He was just way too into himself.
Maybe
He's an
he
asshole.
wasn't though.
That's possible too.
Maybe he just wanted to stay away from.
But
these
everything,
fucks.
everything I hear about it is it was Topher was like he did his own thing. He didn't want anything to do with that shit. And then you hear about Pompeo or whatever being Scientology, kind of a dickhead too. Obviously Masterson being.
No, Pompeo's from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which one am I thinking of? The redhead. What's her last name?
Oh my god.
But her being shitty.
I don't know. I know you're wrong, but I don't.
Yeah. Danny, of course, being shitty. Ashton being creepy, but so was Danny. Mila.
Wait, why is Ashton creepy?
Like, so there was like stuff where him and Danny were trying to be like the first to kiss Mila. Him on Punked being kind of shitty too. Like there's a clip of him that was like, oh, Hillary Duff. She's this.
Prepon. There is her name.
Okay. She's on Lizzie McGuire. She's this, and besides her and the Olsen twins, we can't wait for them to be 18. I was like, ugh. Yeah,
that sucks.
To be fair to those kind of jokes and those kind of that humor, it's sort of the time. It's still creepy, but at that time, it wasn't as frowned upon. And when you look back at it, it's like, ugh. But then even Valderrama, the whole time was kind of a skis, right? Oh, he's super proud and macho, talking about on Howard Stern, how he took Mandy Moore's virginity, talking about Demi Lovato, like just kind of
date Demi when she was like 15 or 16.
Yeah, 17. He was 29, and it's a rough one. She had that song singing about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like very groomy and stuff.
Yeah, very.
But the people that I was bummed to hear about this, obviously Mila and Ashton wrote letters to the judge to be leaning on Danny, but so did the mom,
Deborah Jo.
Yeah, and then so did the
Kurtwood.
dad. And it's just, again, like you said, that whole show just plagued. But the thing about it, the
Even the sister, she's dead now, right?
No, she's alive.
The blonde sister.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought she died of.
I don't think so.
Drug overdose or something.
Because then there's a thing that I saw about her where she had posted after this shit came out about Ashley and Mila, like them, whatever, and they made their apology video and stuff, that she had put stuff out on her Instagram, I believe, like, hey, Ashton, like, don't forget, I was there that day when you called Danny and this was happening. And it was like around the time when that girlfriend of his or whatever was found dead in her house. And I was like, ugh. Like, so apparently she knows some drama. And then also with Mila, too. She made a post about Mila, like, hey, don't forget that I heard this, and this. She didn't get in specifics about stuff. But this person's like, I was there for the first 5 years. I know this shit. And unless these were old posts, but like, apparently this lady knew some shit. And
yeah, she's dead.
Then when did
This
she
one,
die?
the sister, right? The blonde sister?
I think so. 2003, is that what that says?
13.
Oh, shit. It's 10 years ago? Then I don't know if it was her. Because 10 years ago, I don't think Instagram was as popular as it was.
I don't know. Whatever.
And they didn't have stories. Either way, so I digress. Somebody was posting that shit. So back to West Side Story.
Could be. Who knows? See what I
So overprotective family members and stuff like that before you want to get into the colors and everything being toxic. Bernardo, the way he was treating Maria was shitty, right? I know she's young. I know she just got to America and stuff like that. But like she's saying, like, I like this guy. Like, yeah, he used to be a jet. Yeah, he's white and he knows people are part of that group. But like those overprotective dads, you know, with the shotgun, like, oh, you know, if you're going to take my daughter to prom.
Super
like,
douchey.
Yeah, but
the only time I've ever liked that was Bad
Boys 2. Who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck is you?
My name's Reggie. I'm here to take your daughter out. Your name's Reggie, and you're here to take my daughter out. Get your ass up on that wall. Or is it, got some ID? No, I don't, sir. Get your ass up on that wall. Such a good scene.
Yeah.
And obviously he's being over the top on purpose. But even Will Smith in that. Like, who the fuck is that? It's Reggie. Who the fuck is that? Like, you know, and he has the gun in his front.
Motherfucker looks at least 35.
Motherfucker, you look 30. Is what it, yeah. And they use the same people in the Bad Boys 3.
Did they really?
That was really the guy that played Reggie, and that was obviously the daughter too, like all adults now too. But just super toxic. And I know he's trying to protect his sister in that aspect, I do. But like, it's unwarranted because she can make her own fucking decision. That's why I think, was the girlfriend of Bernardo?
Anita.
She's like, no, let them like be in love. Like, let them do this. Like, she's in America now. Like, she has these rights that she didn't have in Puerto Rico. And he's like, well, you know, in Puerto Rico, his excuse is.
I mean, but by this point, he's been beaten down by
I get it.
all his experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they don't establish
Not to say
how long,
that doesn't deserve any blame, but yes.
Right. It never establishes how long he'd actually been there, right? But like,
He must have been there at least a couple of years.
You would think. But they go to school together too, right? Is this some kind of junior college you think they're in because of how old they are?
Yeah, I don't know.
25. Yeah, they're going for their doctorate.
So one of the big things that everyone always talks about is
why is everybody so hot-headed?
Yeah.
Like every single one of them. Immediate to violence. Immediate. Ooh, you talking some shit. Like just immediate to anger.
Well, that guy's name is literally Action. So that's
The little one you're talking about, right? Yeah, I was always, what? Like even fighting his own people.
I say go.
Yeah. Oh, and really quick, after they do that cool, the musical number, and they walk out and they're all looking up, I felt like they're looking up to that guy that was like, hey, shut up, you fucking kids. And he's still there looking at like, what are you fucking looking at? Because they're looking
Can I help
up.
you fuckers?
Like, yeah, I can hear you guys in that fucking garage. And he's just looking at like, oh, you want to point at me, motherfucker? He gets a gun and points back at them. Anyway, so what's something people talk about?
I don't remember. No, one of the big complaints about this movie is the
People that aren't Puerto Rican playing Puerto Rican?
Yeah. The perceived lack of chemistry between Tony and Maria.
Do you think there was?
Your thoughts?
Well,
because as the story goes, in like real life, Natalie was kind of like cold a little bit to Richard, like behind the scenes.
Okay.
And they would just come, just do their scenes, and then take off later.
Yeah. They have absolutely no reason to be friends. Like none of these actors that do anything. Like, but you do want to have chemistry,
required, right?
Yeah, you do want to have chemistry.
So there's two things. One, I always get. It's one of those things where it's something you love so much, so even like the slightest criticism just makes your fist clench and your blood boil a little bit.
I hated this movie.
It's like
Mike, put your fist away, please.
even if it's kind of true.
Severe, no.
No. Because even if it's probably true, I guess, a little bit. It still just makes you angry because people like repeat it or they take it too far.
Okay.
So for example, we just talked about The Simpsons, right?
Okay. We made a reference to, yes.
What's everyone's complaint? It's like,
Not funny anymore.
They're not funny anymore. The last, like, there's no funny, which there was like,
they're not
it was
incorrect.
literally the greatest television series for like, I don't know, 7 years. It was just like astoundingly amazing, right?
Okay.
Whereas, not even longer. Like,
Yeah,
how
I'd
many?
say like 12, 13 years.
So, and of course, like, it's been on 30 years, so it's not going to be as good as it was before. But everyone's like, oh, it's completely trash now, which I'm sure there's bad episodes
There's no
because you have
argument, yeah.
700 episodes.
Yeah.
But, so when I hear that, I get a little angry, even though they might be a little bit right. So when I hear people say that here, like, I kind of understand what they're saying. But two things. One, you can't tell me, like, later on in the movie after they do it.
Did they fuck? I mean, it's
in real
not-
life,
it's
on
not-
camera. Yeah, there's
yeah,
deleted scenes.
It's not established, but like it seems like because he's not wearing his shirt.
He's not wearing a shirt and they're in bed. Like, that's...
I don't know. I feel
They
like
do.
So I've laid with a woman and not boned, but I've had my shirt off.
But you've been jerked off. Like, it's no big deal.
I mean, I got my prostate finger fucked, but anyhow.
Yeah, well, it's assumed that they did.
Okay.
But like that's
She's 14, he's 25.
Yeah, it's totally cool.
Yeah. It's consent.
So like you can't look at that and see like there's like not chemistry there because I was watching like a reaction video to the movie one time and the lady's like, oh, they're not that great together. And then when she sees that scene, she's like, okay, there's some chemistry there now. And then at the end, like once the tragedy hits, like they're seen together when he's dying and she's dying together. Like it's sad chemistry, but there's chemistry there at least for me. The other issue is maybe they don't seem as in love because they're like
It's been 2 days.
because it's only been 2 days.
Yeah.
And then they're juxtaposed against Bernardo and Anita, who are like fucking like Latin fire.
They seem like even though she's like, Bernardo, please, like, let her do this, and then they seem to be arguing a little bit, but like, they're gonna fuck so
Oh
hard.
my
that
God,
night.
yeah.
They're gonna fuck hard, and I'm gonna watch.
Well, that's what it like people's one of their favorite shots too is when they come after American, they come down the stairs and they come like into the foreground.
Yeah,
And it's just
the silhouette of them,
and it's just
very
like
good.
people walking behind.
Well, that's the thing. So that frame, I would have fucking died if they were not only in focus, but then the friend in the back was in focus too, because the background was in focus. But I get it. You can still see clearly it's them. Clearly they kiss. They have their moment. They're clearly in love, and I love that because they have very good chemistry. But
It's like-
back to your original question though, Tony and Maria, I think their chemistry was fine. I would say it was a little. It
kind
was
of childish, right? Or,
well, a little.
not
Well,
childish,
well
but, you
she's
know.
portrayed. Like, she's like 14, but like she has like this juvenile like she knows she's in she's feelings, right? This love.
Infatuation.
Yeah, for him. But him being a little bit older, I feel like he would know better
Man,
of
you're
what.
really harping on this age.
Let me
thing.
finish.
I never noticed, but go ahead.
You don't notice because you enjoyed it so much, likely. Like
Again, like I just said, like I'm looking through it.
Yeah, you brutally love this movie. I watch many movies with an objective, like being when I watch movies for spectacular, I'm watching it to be a little more objective with certain stuff, to be not necessarily critical, but just like to see these things. Right now, I greatly like West Side Story. I do, but if I had an option to not watch it, I wouldn't choose that movie. But that's just I don't like that style of movie. But like if it's on, like let's say I got here, right? You're watching it. I would have sat and watched it. But if I would have had a choice, hey Brandon, you want a West Side Story or Aliens? Aliens. Hey Brandon, you watch West Side Story or this guy being decapitated? Decapitation, please, Alex, for 100. Like it's just how it is. So anyway, I feel like their chemistry was perfectly fine, but it was a little when they were doing the scene. When he goes to her
In the
house,
dress shop?
No. When he finds her in the
Balcony.
alleyway, which is very uncanny to find her. Like he's like, "Where's Puerto Ricoville? Let me go to this. Let me go to this one alley. It's called Puerto
They're only
Rico."
fighting over like fucking 6 blocks of turf, but all right.
Yeah.
And she don't live so many places.
I know, but still,
And he's literally just yelling out the
yeah.
window.
Maria,
Yeah.
hey, shut the fuck up, but Maria, and then she's like, "Hi," and she's just there, and she keeps talking to her dad like, "It's okay, Dad. Hey, it's cool." Anyway. That scene seemed a little like when she's like resting on him a little bit. I was kind of like she seemed a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
But every other scene, I think
But
they were
then,
perfect.
like we're talking about chemistry, right? Like when she sings and she puts like her hand on his face.
Yeah.
and like he kisses her hand. I'm like, oh my god, why am I a little turned on from this kiss? Like, what is happening to me?
Yeah. Why is my cock so
But
engorged?
on the other side, when she like just rubs, like nuzzles his hand, like, it's not as sexy. Anyway, step up.
You want sex.
Step up your game,
Yeah.
Natalie.
Let's bring that shirt down to that inch, like she
Yeah.
asked. How about that?
But if you could just bring it down maybe an inch. No, I hate this dress.
And
Then don't go.
She puts it on. She like, oh, it's beautiful. I thought their chemistry was fine. I think, again, when you compare it to what Bernardo has, though,
It's like,
it's night and day.
I mean, they both won the Academy Award. Like, they're
Did they?
just astounding. Yeah.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
dancing so good. Ooh.
Again,
The best look is her when they're doing America, and she gives them like that, "Arr," and then she turns and goes, hiya, and then
In the purple?
Yeah, in the purple
Yeah,
when
in
she's
the
wearing the
purple
dress.
dress. Yeah, yeah.
She gives them like that saucy look.
well,
like,
something
oh my
that
God.
I think I said earlier is how much the sharks wear purple. Like purple and green are my favorite colors, but purple, if I had to choose between the two, I would choose purple. And
Lakers all day.
Oh, tight. Well, I do like the color yellow, but more of a mustard. But like either way, there's a difference. Like my shorts, right? They're pink.
I'm more of a goldenrod man myself, but all right, it's fine.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So earlier I was like, oh man, I forgot I was wearing these pink shorts. You're like, they're more of a salmon. I was like, actually, salmon has a little bit more. Like I know my colors, right? So
I know my hues.
yeah. But the purple that Bernardo was wearing, I love how vibrant that purple was.
Yes.
And how thin that tie was. I
Oh my
typically
God,
hate
so-
thin
so
ties.
thin.
Typically hate thin ties, but that went so well with the way that he was dressed, right? So like the higher waisted pants. And there was like a skinnier cut still, and those were like I don't know if they were a Chelsea boot, but they weren't tie shoes. And I love that look that he had. Even his friend, not Chino, fuck Chino.
The googly eye guy.
Yeah, what's his like the right hand man? Kind of fucked up face. He looked like somebody punched him too many times.
Yeah. You
Like-
know what's funny? I don't know his name. I'm sorry. Not off the
Okay,
top of my head.
it's okay. What he was wearing too later when he had that very open black shirt,
Yeah.
the big open collar, and he had like the blue on the or the purple on the
I
side.
didn't like how when they do it like the Rumble, like Bernardo's wearing like an Adidas jacket.
Yeah. Well, you got those
those
guys.
are just fighting clothes.
They had always been so hot.
Oh my
Because
God.
guaranteed, all those clothes are made out of like what, wool or
Well, when they were doing like that, the cool number, like Ice is wearing like that jacket the
Yeah,
whole time.
yeah.
They were just sweating their balls
had
off.
to be.
You know, they would. I think they would go until someone they like sprained their ankle and they couldn't dance anymore. Okay, now we'll just continue tomorrow.
That guy
Like
sucks. The choreographer.
Yeah, Jerome. Yeah,
Jerome.
he was a taskmaster. But everyone like who danced with him says he was their favorite person. Like Rita Moreno to this day, she's like, oh, I would follow him to the end of the earth. But
She's
all right.
she's one of the only ones left, right? Like a lot of them passed away.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, because George is still alive. Russ is still alive. Richard's still alive.
They gotta be like
Anita,
90.
16, 17, 80, 80, something, yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. So yeah, besides colors, we kind of sort of harped on a little bit. Why is everybody so hot headed? Especially that one guy. That Tony was gonna just leave that fucking knife there. Like he lets it roll off his hand,
Yeah.
like, eh. And I'm thinking, they have fingerprints back then, motherfucker. Grab them. Thankfully, anybody
Anybody's, yeah.
grabs that fucking knife. She's like, oh, where you going down for this?
She's kind of a hero.
Oh, truly.
Until she's like involved in the almost rape.
The rape?
Yeah.
The almost gang rape? And then she's like,
you were so close
let's
to being
fuck her. Like, they're all ready to fucking take that woman. And then thankfully Doc gets like, what are you fucking hooligans doing? And they're like, oh, hey, Doc, what's up? Like,
It fucking sucks.
And what's his name? Little John? What's his name?
Yeah.
That they're
Baby
just,
John.
Baby John, they're just like, he seems like, no. And they're just like
he
throwing
kind of
him on
gets
it.
raped too. Like
for
if
sure.
They would have made him do that.
For sure.
Like, ooh, that's not.
And so like, it's go ahead.
I mean, it's funny. I've seen this movie. I don't know how many times, but I
7.
I didn't realize because Ice has them do the whole cool number. Like, hey man, just be
of course
cool.
Ice would do it.
But
Baby?
no, because Ice leaves, so he's not there when she comes in.
That's true.
why everyone loses their cool.
Yeah, he goes. Oh, I thought he said
'Cause
initially.
he goes like, oh, I'm gonna go look for Tony or I forget why
he's gonna
leaves.
go in the alley, check the alley or something
Yeah,
like that.
so
yeah.
he's not in the room when that happens. That's
Yeah.
why it gets out of control.
That makes
And
sense.
I literally didn't realize till this last time I watched it. I'm like, oh, that's why they're fucking pieces
Well,
of
after
shit.
I watched the movie, I did read like a Wikipedia synopsis of it too, just to get the idea. And then it does say the rape, and I was like, now again, my word for word note is this:
Rape is bad. Fuck Danny Masterson.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see, cops walking. Look at her. Oh my God, where are you scaling the fence? I know I wrote something about rape, and again, I know that sounds horrible. I say that out loud. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it's because I erased it and did. Okay, just so casual about gang rape is what
Yeah.
I wrote. And then I thought about it after I was like, well, were they actually going to rape her? Yes, they bring baby John over on top of her, and they're taking her clothes off, sort of, and shit like that too.
That's the thing. Like, it's that mob mentality. Like, anything can happen at that point.
Right. And so then I thought when Doc broke it up, I was like, did I write this note prematurely, thinking like maybe they were just going to rough her up or something like that? But then obviously you had this. I know your face you just made.
Yeah.
It seemed very rapey, and you're right. Ice wasn't there.
Whenever anybody talks about it, like now, even the actors, that's what they call it. Like
Okay. The rape scene.
The rape scene.
Okay, well that's fucked. But he was just gonna leave the knife there. Thankfully, anybody grabbed that knife and left the one that Bernardo used. So
It's anybody's.
anybody's. Yeah, I believe you're right. Yeah. Which again, why did she want to be a part of this gang so bad?
She just wants to fit in.
Which,
She's like, non-binary. She wants to,
well, I don't know that, but yeah, I understand that she had the shorter cut hair, but then the guy spanks her ass like early in the movie. I was like, well, that's
Does he?
Yeah.
I thought he kicks her.
No, he straight. Like that was
I don't
hand.
remember that.
Yeah, that was hand on the butt. And she turned around. She's like,
In the beginning, when
yeah.
Riff first tells her to leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he smacks her ass. Let's see. I don't like Chino, is what I wrote.
He's the worst.
He is the absolute worst. Not only does he look like a young Manny Pacquiao, but like and I can't stand Manny Pacquiao.
Wilmer, but okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I
But
see it
like
too.
he's also hot-headed. But I understand his anger because like Maria's like,
That
but
was
what
his
about
best,
Tony?
that was his best friend too.
Not only that, best friend. He's set up to be with Maria, and she's like going for this guy that she literally just met.
He doesn't seem that in love with her either, though.
But he's like down.
I mean, he's supposed to be, but
Yeah, but he's taken to the dance. He wants,
everyone talks about like the Latin fire or whatever, but he doesn't have much fire. No, I'm sorry, he has anger, but not like the smoldering. How you say?
Yeah.
That Bernardo has.
So Tony kills Bernardo, right? And then he's like, "But Tony killed Bernardo," and he runs away.
He killed your brother.
And then Tony shows up, and she's like, "No," and he's like, "Sorry, I had to do it. Like I just acted." She's like, "All right." It's cool.
It's not exactly how that went, but yeah, okay.
Pretty much.
Pretty
much. Like think about it. So she's
There's
like,
so many minutes
You
of this.
killed him. You killed him. And she's like beating on his chest. He's like, baby, I just reacted, right? He, Bernardo stabbed Riff, and then he's like brother to me, and I just reacted, right? And then she's like, all right, so we're gonna run away or what's up? Like we doing this?
We getting down right now?
Yeah, we're gonna. I guarantee he did not shower.
Oh
and
no,
she's not showered.
He's so stinky.
So not only is he gonna
Everyone's
stink,
shirts are so dirty. Those guys.
not only is he gonna stink, his shirts are tore up. He's gonna be sticky.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God,
Maybe some blood on his
if she
hands.
went down on him or something like that, that's gonna just be Ballsville, like balls and a little bit of butt stink coming up from that valley of
Hell
death.
yeah.
And she's just down. Like it's perceived that they fucked. I didn't get that vibe, but
That's
sure.
exactly what happens, bro. Have you ever read
his
Romeo and
pants weren't
Juliet?
even done.
Fuck, bro.
If I'm gonna fuck, I'm not gonna put my pants back on and button them again. I'm gonna be, hey baby,
What's to cover the stink?
even my boxers are chafing. So I gotta take them off. How many Simpson references can we make in a fucking episode?
dude, not enough.
But like, I'm not gonna put my pants back on. I don't care if that shit stinks. I'm on a twin-sized bed in the heat of summer, sharing it with this girl, and I'm like 6'5",
It's like that wrought irons. He just
barely holding on by the washers and bolts holding it together. It's just, and that was made out of aluminum or something. Like it was cheap. Like that was not iron in the slightest. But
parents in their room next door, like,
Yeah.
what's going on out there?
yeah. Hey, Maria, what the fuck? And she's just like has
It's
no
okay, puppy.
Yeah, don't look in here, Dad. So she was just cool that like, okay, like he's like, we got to get out of here. We got to get some money. We got to do it. She's like, all right. And then Anita
It's the love of her life. Yes.
shows up and she's like, you got to get the fuck out of here. Now you would think, like you get down the fire escape, right? Like there was another alleyway to the left I saw. There's one that he went to straight, but you can see there's one to the left. Fucking cut that right in there so that way you're not seen going up and down that. Because when she looks out the window, you see the motherfucker right there. Like, where are you trying to... Or go up, you dumb fuck, and go on the roof and hide. But anyway, he goes back on the street, not knowing that Chino's looking for him with a gun. But still...
No, I mean, this is earlier. Like, he makes it to the Doc's basement.
Yeah, he does.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
later on, Doc tells him, like, that
She's dead.
What's her face said?
Yeah,
That's when he comes
Chino-
up and just calls out for Chino.
Right. No, I get that. But I thought that when anybody was looking for him and stuff, they already knew that Chino had the gun. Chino had the gun. But like, that's the point. Weren't they supposed to find him? Because she's the one that had the news, right? So then she would have let him know, Chino. And then he finds out that from Doc, because Anita said that she's partially blamed for this too, Anita, that is. Because I understand. she was about to get gang raped, and she's fucking
Pissed.
livid. She's probably freaking out a little bit. She's crying. She's like, well, you tell him that this, you know.
Well, she just lost the love of her life.
Correct.
And these people who did it, she now sees them as animals.
As they are.
So, like, if one's like this, then they're all the same.
Sure.
So,
The animosity.
fuck.
I get it. But, like, she's also partially blamed of this, too. Because, like, because of that, Doc tells Tony, and Tony's like, can't fucking do it, Chino. And then, lo and behold, Chino, with not only immaculate accuracy and quickness, that he's
the greatest sharpshooters of all time.
with a fucking revolver, he's 20 feet away, and in nighttime, right?
Yeah.
There's only one fucking light coming down on that.
Through who knows how many links of a chain link fence.
Perfectly like dead
Yeah.
bullseye, like through that shit. Hits him somewhere. I don't know where he hit him. They don't show
So
anything.
everyone gets caught in the gut. That's assuming.
Gut. Well, I mean, the gut's probably the worst place to get it, because if you get it in the chest, you got your lungs and your heart, right? But you get in the belly, you got your liver, which if that's punctured, you're just getting all that toxicity going out, your appendix, all that shit down there. You can't see us, but I was moving. Spectacular. Oh, okay, you stopped. So he got hit. Nobody knows where, but in the torso, in the trunk, and they cover that wound real quick, like to see where it is. But he's maybe a foot away from her when he shoots, and he still hits her.
He threaded the needle.
Oh, for sure. And then the whole rest of the time, he's just like, I feel like he immediately regretted his decision, because he was like, womp, womp. And he had his like head down, his shoulders low. Obviously, Maria's like, you know, she takes the gun and she's like ready to go. But like Chino, like you said, killed his best friend, taken his girl, which not exactly his girl, but kind of like set it to be his girl. Yeah. And to have that anger in you to murder someone, I get it, 100%. If somebody had murdered you or in that aspect too.
But he's had a couple hours to think about it. Like, you think he would have calmed down at that point.
You would. Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, I can understand the seeing only red, right? You're so mad that your best friend was killed and this white boy is banging your girl so quickly. Didn't even know. You know, if they fucked, they did that shit raw.
Oh yeah.
Like 100%.
Oh,
probably wasn't even condoms back in that time.
Yeah.
Like, and he probably finished inside of her. So it's just how it is.
That's where it's gonna go.
So, yeah. Where else am I supposed to do it? Like, you just got to let it go. But like, you're right. He had hours to think about it. You think like, okay, I have this gun, right? I'm gonna kill somebody. Like, what's and I'm like supposed to be portraying a 16-year-old, max 18. Like, that's my whole life. And you know, they weren't nice to Puerto Ricans back then, or anybody of color at that time. So like, he goes to prison. If there is not like another Puerto Rican gang there or something,
which
like
I'm
that,
sure there is. Yeah.
Well, guaranteed at that time. Yeah, there was probably tons of Puerto Ricans that were like planting evidence and shit like that on them. But like, it's still not a good look to be that angry, right?
Yeah.
But I get it though. If somebody killed you, that like, I'd be like, ah! And then after like 8 hours, I'm like, all right, well.
I mean, but they didn't talk about it there. But maybe he's felt some of the hatred that Bernardo's felt too.
Sure.
So like, this is just the culmination of all that. Like, not just the love that he lost potentially.
Right.
His best friends lost. Just the fucking hatred of white people for just like making their lives miserable.
Right.
Like, that's all the shit that could building up.
Like, from the moment they pretty much got off the boat, like, it's like probably they were getting shit on.
Yeah.
And now they're in a neighborhood where they're not wanted. They're probably not getting paid well. Well, I don't feel like at that time a lot of people weren't really paid well, because it was like, well, you're making $1 a day of that, which at that time that's probably it's a lot of money. But imagine.
I mean, they say it in America.
Huh?
Like,
in the song.
One look at us and they charge twice.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, imagine the money we made now, back then.
Oh, we would live like kings.
I would own that whole skyrise.
I would live like on fucking Central Park West.
I think I could own multiple places there and just hand them down to my children and shit like that.
Generational wealth.
Literal. And but like, you gotta think too, like the mobsters and shit that are making that kind of money, like during Prohibition and shit like that. Like,
my uncle always so we meet with whenever I have like a day off, I'll tell my dad and like, okay, let's tell Uncle John, because he's like 80. Oh my God, how old is he? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 85, I think.
Okay.
So like, have as many lunches as we can with him, right? He'll always like print up like cost of living in the year he was like 1937 or whatever he was born. It's just this. I think I sent a picture to you guys if you remember that.
Yeah.
But it's like the saddest thing. Like, oh, a house is, $10,000.
$10,000.
$10,000,
Yeah.
and a car is like $1,200. Like,
Yeah.
oh God.
Yeah.
So
It's and when I saw a chart recently, it's like the cost of living, how it's like skyrocketed, right? Like to buy a house, but then the average median money has not really increased
no.
for people, and so it's like, how does this work? How do people like you and I, which we make a pretty good income, truly, but like, how are people like you and I to ever afford an $800,000 house on our own? We can't, unless we have like help from family, we have roommates. There has to be another sustainable income coming in too, and now, granted, that's on us, right? We're living in Southern California. Like, how fucking dare we?
Yeah.
But like, if we moved to Michigan, our money would go a lot further there. Like, we can get a big house for like
yeah, but
200.
then I had to find a job with the same income. That
No, I get.
I
Yeah,
have
that's
here,
what I mean.
as
Like,
had
so,
there.
like that's why I would love if like I can work from home for, because I really don't need to be out. But imagine if I could work from home. I know
And
you
live.
unfortunately can't because what you do. But like, if I could and live anywhere and still sustain this money, I would absolutely move to another state. Like, well, yeah, I think I would, because like to have a house. And then if I wanted to be a writer, right? I don't need to be in Hollywood. It's ideal, but I don't need to be.
You can
when-
Zoom.
That too. Or if for a season, like it's going to last a couple months, just fly over there. I can have the studio pay for like a hotel or a B&B for me if it's a good show or something like that. And then fly the fuck back or whatever. But even going to Arizona, Texas, still better. Not a lot better, but still better in pricing for a house. But if you want like a 2 to 3 bedroom home in Orange County, obviously depending on where, but on average you're looking at least $650,000-$700,000. And again, it's our own fault for wanting to live in this area. Because for you and I, if we're by ourselves, we can afford an apartment, like maybe, like $2,000 mortgage a month. Like, okay, but like you're in an apartment. I have nothing against having an apartment to own, because you're still gonna gain the equity on it. Equity is the right word, but
Appreciate.
yeah, it's gonna appreciate. Because Tupac said it best. He was talking about a home. He's saying you are appreciated.
Oh yeah.
He's talking about his house. So it's he's at his front door. He's whispering, saying, "Hey, home, you are appreciated."
He's walking to the mailbox,
Yeah.
getting his mail, and he looks up at his house. And he's like, "You are appreciated."
Yeah, he's looking at his mortgage. He's like, "You are appreciated." And his mom was walking by like, "Hey, thanks." And he's like, "Yeah, all right. I like that. I like that. Let me go with this." So again, it's on fucking us. But my last note that I have about this movie, clearly the death of Tony and the love that Maria had brought these two gangs together to stop the violence, right? Probably for a temporary amount of time. But if only all gangs can just watch West Side Story,
Yeah.
and realize like it's not worth it. The Blood and the Crips, they had that temporary cease many years ago when there was like the riots and shit in LA that they like kind of worked together with stuff. Like, but if only they could just come together and use West Side Story as a prime example of, violence doesn't solve anything. I've never been in a fight in my life. Yeah. I don't count with my brother or something like that, or just fucking around with like a guy friend, but never truly a fight. Like, after school, motherfucker, we're gonna do this. Ooh.
Have you ever been in a dance fight?
Not only have I been in a dance fight, I won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
You did the roll and then the kickoff with the legs, and
I did a
pirouette,
pirouette, and then as I did that, I kicked him right in the jaw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just kept spinning and spinning, and
remember
then
what
he
that-
couldn't quite get his in on it because I was spinning so fast.
Yeah.
Got him right in the face with my heel.
Yeah. Capoeira at his ass.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I was breakdance fighting just in the background, just ready to fucking go. So what other notes do you have about this movie, though, Michael?
I mean, I just love it so much. I just wish people would watch it.
Okay.
It just makes me smile.
Yeah.
I love the music. I can sing it all day. I don't think I have any more notes. I think we went over pretty much everything.
Okay. Good.
And it's super fun. Which is your favorite song, by the way? Do you have one?
I don't know if I could say I have one because this is only the second time I've seen the movie.
Uh-huh.
But I think the ones that always come to mind, like I said earlier, is when they're gonna go to the fight, like they have their own like theme song or whatever. Like the Jets have theirs and the Sharks have theirs.
Yeah, the quintet.
Yeah, sure. I said yeah, like I knew what that was.
Quintet,
And then
Tonight.
Yeah. I don't Maria, the song Maria, all that one. That one doesn't really stick out to me at all.
Okay.
I think the very beginning song, like in the basketball court and all that shit, I don't know it, but I know it.
The prologue, or when they're singing together the Jet song. When you're a jet all the way to your birth.
Is that the beginning?
It's not the beginning. It's
not that one.
Okay.
It's not that one. It's what's the very beginning?
Where they're just.
Yeah, and they're snapping and they're like it's just like when I hear La La Land,
Okay.
La La Land.
Yeah.
The beginning song, the dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Like just like when I hear the whistling and the snapping, I know that because I remember when we did the musical
Another Day of Sun or something like
that I was doing this. We did the snapping, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing I always associate with West Side Story is the
Of course, yeah.
the snapping, and so I think that's why that always comes full circle when I hear that beginning song. But I'd have to listen to the soundtrack to really think like which one really appeals to me. But I think I like you said the quartet.
Quintet.
I think. Okay. What about you?
I believe it's Something's Coming.
How's that one go?
It's could be, who knows? There's something due any day.
When
I
was
will
that?
know right away, soon as it shows. When he tells Rip that, okay, I'll meet you at the dance, and he's like, hey,
Oh, and he's by himself.
maybe what you're looking for.
Like Riff
at the
leaves, right?
dance,
And then he's by himself.
who
singing.
knows? Yeah.
Okay.
And he's singing in the alley by himself.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But I thought the way you just said "who knows" it was kind of like a Christopher Walken. Who knows?
Walken or Travolta, one of the two.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. So anyway, that was us talking about West Side Story. The next movie that we are going to review is also available on Amazon Prime, but technically freebie, which is Escape from New York.
Yes.
Escape from New York, which is Kurt Russell and others.
I've never seen it actually.
Yeah, Mike and I, it's a movie Mike and I haven't seen. I've seen Escape from LA, so has Mike, oddly enough, which is a sequel to Escape from New York, like 15 years after
something like that.
or something like that. But this is a John Carpenter movie, which I really wish they had. What's the John Carpenter movie with the aliens?
The Thing?
No. Well, I love that one, yes. But the other one where he puts on the glasses is Roddy Piper.
Oh,
They Live?
They Live, yes.
They Live. I would like to see that at some point. I've never seen it, but I've quoted it before, like the chewing bubblegum thing. Like, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. And, and I hear that fight scene with Roddy and that guy in the alleyway was a pretty gnarly fight. Like, not so much just the way they filmed it. Like, they got actually truly hit a couple times. Anyway, so thank you for listening to our premiere episode of this season, and hope you enjoyed our new theme song. So, Mike, I feel like I'm gonna regret asking you this, but why don't you go ahead and take us away?
Take us away with a song. Oh my God, I don't even know which one to think. I mean, we just follow.
What to think? What to think?
Spectacular, you've just listened to Spectacular, and I hope you had as much fun as Brandon and me.